So, Nolan Allan, he kind of had, some inconsistent playing time, set back down here. But what have you seen from him? What does he need to do this time here and in the playoffs?
I think the biggest thing, for the reason for him coming down was to play. He's played a ton of minutes for us, and he's a guy, real good skater, good defensively, plays hard, has a physicality to his game, and that's what he's brought here, and he's done it consistently. So I think it's just more reps with that, ingraining that in him and having that become part of his identity. And then, when he gets his opportunity again up top, just taking that up there, playing the same way.
I know Sorensen wanted him to work on his stick work, like stick battles, tying up puck carrier sticks, or tying up forward sticks. What have you seen on that front? Where you think he can improve?
Yeah, I think that's one of the habits that we focus on. That defenseman's stick is their number one tool. So that the better you can use that, the easier you're going to make it for yourself defensively. So I think all young defensemen, that's something that they need to learn and have it just become a consistent part of their repertoire when it comes to defending at this level.
What do you know about Taige and what he brings?
Yeah, spent a lot of time with Taige, since he was drafted. So, obviously a big body, has a ton of reach. Has a physical element to him. Always thought that his game might translate better to the pro level than it did in college. So we'll have an opportunity to see that here over the next few weeks.
Savoie, how's his game been coming along? It seems like he has a knack for short-handed opportunities.
Yeah, he's. I think he's played his best hockey of the season here the last few weeks. I think a lot of young players, their rookie year, you can hit that wall right around January, February. I don't think it was any different for him, but I think he's getting his second wind. He's learning this league. He's learning the pro game, learning how to, how his assets translate at this level, how to use them effectively, and obviously his burst, his power, his speed is his biggest asset, and that is definitely something that shows up on a penalty kill, like you mentioned.
He's not afraid to get it to the fans a little bit. Is that swag that a coach can appreciate, or do you rather he avoid that like that?
No, I think it's great. It's the energy. You need some character in hockey. You need some character in your hockey in your locker room, and he definitely brings that. So I would never discourage someone from playing and displaying their true personalities.
Did he remind you of anyone, either personality or wise, or style of play?
Not really. I can't think of anybody offhand, but he's one of a kind. So compare him to him.
That was an opportunity to say Andrew Shaw, but that's okay.
Yeah. No, I'll save the comparisons for others.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. You're expecting to get some guys back for the playoffs, like Levshunov and Korchinski, for example. But what have you seen since they've gone back up, and how important will they be to your playoff push?
Yeah, obviously, what they bring to the table. If they're back down here, they'll be huge parts of our team and our playoff push. But haven't seen Korch since he's gone back up. But already, you see, his elite talent, his puck skills. You see it come out up there. His ability to make passes, to escape and elude forecheckers, and I think he's been forced at that level to raise his battle level and his engagement level, which is good to see.
Was he a kind of quick learner out of the gate, or did he take an adjustment period here when he first?
No, I think he's been very coachable from the get-go. Obviously his second, third year over here in North America, there's so much for him to learn outside of just stuff on the ice. So he's still adjusting to the culture, to the pro environment, to the new coaches, new teammates, and he's done a great job of that from day one. And I think you've been able to see the steady, gradual improvement in him from day one to where he is now.
What effect, if any, has Kuzman had since you guys acquired him on, Lev Chenal's adjustment, not only to, this game, but to just being here in the United States?
Yeah, hard to quantify that, but certainly, I think with all young players, the more comfortable they can be in any environment that they're in, it makes them more, able to develop and absorb information that's coming their way. And I think there's definitely a comfort factor between he and Kuzi, and if that's translated into some of his progress, then great.
You had so much of your talent called up to Chicago. How have you adjusted to that, or what kind of impact has that had? And do you need to make a move to Indy? With Indy.
Well, we have some guys up from Indy, so it's not really an adjustment. It's just it's more of an opportunity. It's an opportunity for guys from Indy or guys that were playing more depth roles here before the call-ups to step in to bigger roles or roles that they weren't in previously. And I think ultimately this stretch with a significant amount of guys up it's only going to make us better come playoff time, because those guys that are playing bigger roles now are going to be called upon in the playoffs. And as you know, it takes everybody in the playoffs. Everybody needs to contribute.
Yeah, I think it's been good. We've been a little kind of streaky here, actually. Win a couple, lose a couple, win a couple, lose a couple. But I think it's good coming down the stretch here. I guess trying to take on a bit more of a bigger role with the other guys up right now. So I think it's going well.
Yeah, speaking of the other guys, it seems like the Blackhawks are just assembling a lot of defensemen. How do you feel about that? How things are going on that front, and where you fit into that picture?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different right now with all the guys up. But it's good it's a good chance for me to work on my game down here and play a lot. Work on what I need to improve, and just kind of, I think it's kind of exciting for the Blackhawks and the fans and stuff like that to see all the young guys up there and making an impact.
And speaking of working on things, when we talked to Sorensen, he said he wants you to work on things like corner battles, tying up sticks, being physical in front of the net. But what are some of the things that coaches there and here have told you they want to see more from you?
I think like you said, that stuff, corner battles, being hard in front, just being a hard player to play against. I think that's a big thing to continue. Obviously, there's always room for improvement. I think that's one of my strengths, but just to continue to improve and even get that to another level, and then work on other parts of my game, kind of round out my game. Try and work on a little bit of offensive zone work. Try keep pucks going and work on my offensive ability, but at the same time keeping that defensive ability where I know I can have it, and like I said, continuing to improve the stuff that I'm already good at to just take it to that next level.
It seems like you, speaking of offense, have had at least a couple of helpers against Manitoba. I don't know what it is about that team that you like, but have you made some offensive strides or other strides in your game?
I think so. I mean, obviously it's a little bit different than up there. I feel like you might have some more time sometimes, and it might be a little bit easier to make some plays on the offensive end, and I think that's kind of a good thing to, I guess, maybe bring it down a little bit just so I can work on it, and then hopefully continue to improve that and take it to the next level.
Yeah, with all this kind of topsy-turvy with this the pipeline, how do you keep your mental state in the right place? Does it ever get to you?
I think you just gotta focus on being present, in the here and now, and just focus on yourself. I mean, there's things that are out of your control that you don't have any control over. So you just got to focus on what you can control and improving each and every day, and things will happen the way they're supposed to, I guess.
When you reach this stage of the season, you're trying to lock down a playoff berth, and there are a lot of possibilities still as to where you guys could be seated, 3, 4, 5. So how much does it energize you right now and kind of give you a second wind at this stage of the season with so much at stake here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is what we play for, right? We want to play in meaningful games, important games. So you don't have any trouble getting up for these games. A couple big games down the stretch here, and hopefully we're just looking to secure that playoff spot, and if we could enhance our position, that's even better. But I think we're just looking to play some good hockey down the stretch, and bring that kind of play style into the playoffs, and go from there.
2 with Grand Rapids this weekend. They're only 6 points ahead of you guys. How much discussion is there about the importance of these back-to-back games with them?
Yeah, these games are big. We're seeing them a lot here down the stretch, and they're a good team, so I think that's good for us too. To play these good teams down the stretch and kind of get us ready for the playoffs. I know last time we were there for our weekend set there, the back-to-back. It felt like a mini playoff series. So it was pretty good hockey, pretty intense hockey, and we're looking to continue that.
Yeah, and you just mentioned you guys want to be playing your best hockey, obviously, right now. I mean, kind of where do you think this team is at right now in terms of being close to or playing up to your potential?
Yeah, I think we're on our way there. Obviously, we've been battling the last a couple weeks to get in this spot and to push into the playoffs. So I think we're trending upwards. We're on our way, to playing that playoff style hockey, and I think continuing our recent stretch here will help us in the playoffs.
You got a new D-man added today. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
I mean, just your first impressions, just seeing him come out there on the ice.
Yeah, like you said, he's a big boy. I actually met him a couple of years ago at development camp, so kind of familiar with him, knew him a little bit, and he's a really nice guy. Looks good out there. He's a big boy and he moves well, so excited to see him play.
With all these big D-men that the Hawks have been getting, does it make you feel like you're on the shorter side?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, we got a big D-core. It's good though. It's nice to have some big boys back there. So it definitely makes me feel a little bit shorter.
Probably the first time in your life that's ever happened, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's the first time where I'm one of the smaller guys, but no, it's good.
Both with him and then McCormick as well, making a couple of strides up here at this level. How have you been able to help some of those younger defensemen just kind of get in a rhythm in their first couple of seasons up here at the pro level?
Yeah, McCormick's done a great job. I thought he's played really well for stepping in and coming in, playing some hard games. I think just making them feel comfortable whenever you can, just on the bench, or when they make a nice play, just let them know. Keep reinforcing that positivity, and then I think on the other end, just keeping them up if they're down or whatever happens. There's ebbs and flows throughout the game, so I think just things like that just make them feel comfortable.
And then Comesso obviously has been playing really well, and he's kind of first to say that there's a lot of credit to the guys in front of him. So how do you view how you guys have been able to play in front of your netminder as a unit? And then secondly, how much confidence does it give you guys as a unit when you know that Comesso or Weeks are going to be playing pretty well whenever they get between the pipes?
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence in Mess, obviously. He probably deserves most of the credit, honestly. I think we've done a good job of playing in front of him, like you said, but I think he's made some key saves and some big saves at timely opportunities and stuff like that to keep us in those games and keep us ahead. So he takes a lot of the credit. He's been playing real well lately, and he's done a good job for us.
Obviously I have a good support group around me, so I kind of just always focus on hockey and let them kind of help guide me and kind of help me make decisions. So I'm lucky.
Now, you're 6'7". Is it funny to you that you're not even the tallest Blackhawks?
They have a lot of big guys here, so it's kind of what the game is. A lot of big guys who can skate well, so it's good to see.
We were just talking with Nolan Allan. He said he knew you a little bit. You know a whole lot of the guys up here so far?
Well, the Blackhawks do a really good job, like development camp. You kind of get to know all the guys. So even though I'm not first name base with all the guys yet, like I've recognized faces, kind of feel comfortable. So, and no one actually drove me to the rink today, so had a good car ride. Yeah.
How valuable do you view these next few weeks here for you just to kind of familiarize yourself with the pro game?
Yeah, I think it's great to get experience. Even the practice today, obviously guys are bigger, faster, so kind of just get my feet wet and really just trying to enjoy the process and work hard. So that's all I can do.
You had a great season at Providence. What sold you on the fact that you're ready? Obviously, you used up your eligibility.
Yeah.
But what sold you on the fact that, okay, I'm ready for that next step?
Nothing in particular, honestly. Like, we had a really good team at Providence this year. We made the tournament. Didn't get our final goal, but still felt like I gained really good experience from that, which will help me on these next steps.
You had a bunch of assists. You had a bunch of blocks. I mean, are you that two-way D-man that a lot of teams covet?
I think my game's keeping it simple for the most part and help generate offense that way. And then obviously I'm a big guy. I've got to use my stick, use my reach. So I'd say defense is kind of my specialty, but I don't mind chipping in offensively.
Big guys aren't always physical, though. Do you have that mentality, or are you more of a finesse guy?
I'd say I'm more of a physicality guy than a finesse guy. I'd like to say I have finesse in my game, but I think at this level, physicality is more of my thing.
How exciting is it, obviously, just to get up here and get some experience at this level, but right now in the middle of a playoff push, intensity is ratcheted up a little bit. How exciting is that?
It's really exciting. Obviously, my season just ended in Providence, and now I kind of get to start a new one here. So it's going to lean on all the guys here that have been kind of going through it and just help out however I can.
How well do you know Mark Eaton? I know he's been with the organization for a long time, player development, now the interim head coach. Just what is that relationship like? And does that make it a little easier coming in already having a relationship?
It does, yeah, because he was our development guy for the last 4 years. So I've had countless conversations, and I know he's a great hockey mind, so I'm definitely going to lean on him lots.
How is the transition to, I mean, I know it just happened, but to being a pro and getting in this mindset, adjusting from, campus life is a different kind of thing.
Yeah, I think, obviously, time will tell. I kind of just flew in last night, so obviously, they have the chef here, so had a good breakfast, so honestly, I can get back to you in a week on that. I'm not sure.
What about, I'm sorry, about, where do you think you need improvement in your game? Or what has Eaton told you? Or
I haven't really talked to them yet, but it's a big guy. Skating's always the number one thing, just working on foot speed and closing gaps, and then all areas of my game I want to round out, whether that's defensively, offensively, a little bit of everything. So I'm sure I'll have meetings with them and kind of get a focus, but right now, just everything.
And you said Allan drove you. Is that going to be your roommate for the time being, or?
He's staying in the same place as me, so I'm going to be asking him for lots of rides. Might have to chip in some gas money.
There we go.